The clock on the wall read 2:17 a.m. The apartment was silent, except for the faint hum of the refrigerator and the soft rain hitting the windows. Ethan sat on the edge of his bed, staring blankly at the floor. His phone screen glowed in his hand, but he wasn't really looking at it. He was exhausted. Not physically, soul-level exhausted. The kind of exhaustion that sleep cannot heal. For months, he had been living on autopilot. Wake up, go to work, smile at people, answer messages, pay bills, come home, repeat. From the outside, his life looked normal, but inside, something was slowly collapsing. And nobody knew. Not his coworkers, not his friends, not even his own mother. Because Ethan had become an expert at pretending. Pretending he was fine, pretending he was strong, pretending nothing hurt anymore. But tonight, the mask felt too heavy to wear. He leaned forward, buried his face in his hands, and whispered quietly, "I can't do this anymore." Tears rolled down his cheeks before he even realized he was crying. Not loud tears, silent ones, the dangerous kind. The kind that come from carrying too much for too long. Ethan stood up and walked toward the kitchen. The apartment felt cold, empty, lonely. He opened the refrigerator without thinking, stared inside for a few seconds, then closed it again. Nothing sounded good anymore. Not food, not music, not movies, not conversations. Everything felt emotionally numb. He walked back to the couch and grabbed his phone again, hoping distraction would save him for another night. Scrolling had become his escape. If he stayed distracted long enough, maybe he wouldn't have to think. Maybe he wouldn't have to feel. Video after video flashed across the screen. Funny clips, news, random posts. None of it mattered. Then suddenly, his thumb stopped. A video appeared with simple words written across a dark background. "If you are emotionally tired, this message is for you." Ethan almost scrolled past it, but something about those words felt strangely personal. So he pressed play. A calm voice began speaking. "My child, you have been surviving for so long that you forgot what peace feels like." Ethan froze. His chest tightened instantly. The voice continued. "You smile for people. You carry responsibilities. You keep moving forward. But deep inside, your soul is tired." A strange stillness filled the room. Ethan swallowed hard, because somehow, it felt like the voice understood everything he never said out loud. The video continued gently. "You keep telling yourself you'll rest later, you'll heal later, you'll slow down later. But later has become the hiding place for your pain." Ethan looked away from the screen, his eyes filled with tears again. Because it was true. Completely true. For nearly 2 years, Ethan had been carrying emotional pain he never faced. It started after his younger sister Lily died in a car accident. She was only 19, bright, funny, full of life, and then suddenly, gone. The loss shattered his family. His mother became emotionally distant. His father buried himself in work, and Ethan became the strong one. That's what everyone called him. Strong, responsible, reliable. While everyone else broke down, Ethan held everything together. He handled funeral arrangements, comforted relatives, supported his mother. He never gave himself permission to grieve, because somebody had to stay strong. Or at least, that's what he believed. But grief ignored does not disappear. It waits, quietly, patiently, until one day it becomes too heavy to carry. And now, years later, the weight was crushing him. The voice in the video spoke again. "Some of what you call strength is actually exhaustion." Ethan covered his mouth and cried harder. No one had ever said it like that before. All this time, people praised him for surviving, but nobody noticed how much survival was costing him. The video continued. "You became so used to carrying pain silently that silence itself started feeling normal." Ethan paused the video. The room felt painfully quiet. He looked around the apartment. Laundry sat unfolded in a corner. Empty coffee cups rested on the counter. Bills were stacked on the table. His entire life suddenly looked exactly how he felt inside. Unattended. Overwhelmed. Tired. He leaned back against the couch and closed his eyes. For the first time in years, he stopped fighting his emotions, and everything came pouring out. The grief, the loneliness, the anger, the exhaustion. "I miss her," he whispered through tears. His voice cracked. "I miss her so much." The sentence echoed through the apartment, and somehow, admitting it out loud felt both painful and relieving. Because deep down, Ethan realized something important. He had spent years running from his pain instead of healing it. The video resumed playing softly. "My child, you do not have to carry everything alone anymore." Ethan stared at the screen. Something inside him broke completely. Not in a destructive way, in an honest way. The kind of breaking that happens before healing begins. That night, Ethan cried until sunrise, and for the first time since Lily's death, he finally allowed himself to grieve. The next morning, his eyes were swollen. His body felt drained, but strangely, his chest felt lighter. Not healed, but lighter. Like years of emotional pressure had finally cracked open. Later that day, Ethan called his mother. They hadn't truly talked in months. Only short conversations, surface-level check-ins, nothing real. When she answered, her voice sounded tired too. "Hey, sweetheart." Ethan swallowed nervously, then quietly said, "Mom, I don't think I've been okay for a long time." Silence. Then suddenly, his mother started crying. Softly at first, then uncontrollably. "Me neither," she whispered. And in that moment, Ethan realized something heartbreaking. Everyone in the family had been pretending to be strong for each other, while secretly falling apart alone. That conversation changed everything. Over the next few weeks, Ethan and his mother began talking honestly again. About Lily, about grief, about pain. Not avoiding it, facing it. And slowly, their hearts began healing together. One evening, Ethan visited Lily's grave for the first time in almost a year. The cemetery was quiet. Cold wind moved through the trees. Ethan stood there silently, staring at her name engraved in stone. For years, he avoided this place because it hurt too much, but tonight felt different. He knelt down slowly and whispered, "I thought being strong meant never breaking." Tears rolled down his face. "But I think real strength is finally being honest." The wind moved softly around him, and for the first time since losing her, he felt close to peace. Not because the pain disappeared, but because he stopped running from it. Weeks turned into months. Healing came slowly. Some days Ethan still struggled. Some nights sadness returned unexpectedly. But now, instead of hiding his emotions, he faced them. He started therapy, started journaling, started praying again. Most importantly, he stopped pretending he was okay when he wasn't. And little by little, life began feeling real again. One afternoon, Ethan sat inside a small coffee shop reading a book. Sunlight poured through the windows. People talked quietly nearby. For the first time in years, he noticed simple things again. The warmth of coffee, the sound of laughter, the beauty of ordinary moments. Pain had once made the entire world feel colorless, but healing slowly brought the colors back. A waitress walked past and smiled warmly. "You seem peaceful today," she said casually. Ethan looked surprised, then smiled softly. "Yeah," he answered. "I think I'm finally learning how to breathe again." That night, Ethan walked home through the glowing city streets. Cars moved past him. Music echoed from distant apartments. Cold air brushed against his face. But inside, he felt calm. Not because life became perfect, but because he no longer felt alone inside himself. As he reached his apartment building, his phone buzzed. A message from his mother appeared. "Lily would be proud of you." Ethan stared at the screen for a long moment. Then tears filled his eyes again. But this time, they were not tears of despair. They were tears of healing. He looked up at the night sky and whispered softly, "Thank you for staying with me even when I pushed everything away." The wind moved gently around him. And deep in his heart, Ethan felt something he thought he had lost forever. Hope. Real hope. The kind that slowly enters wounded hearts and teaches them how to live again. The kind that reminds broken people they are still loved. The kind that whispers softly during quiet nights. You survived the darkness, but now it's time to heal. Ethan smiled through tears and continued walking forward. Not perfectly, not fearlessly, but honestly. And for the first time in a very long time, that was enough.